Hey, what's going on with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and fangirls especially. This is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Criticism Guide 2009, aka Nintendo Sony Free 2011, and of course, Nintendo Anime Manga Guide 360. So, unfortunately, as you can hear due to the tone of my voice, not because I'm tired or I'm sleepy or half asleep. I'm doing this right an hour before I go to work, and fortunately, the people, they lost a really huge heroic hero in the WWE industry, in the WrestleMania type of industry entertainment, if any people know what that is. I pretty much don't ever talk about this at all. I mean, I do follow a couple of people that talk about WrestleMania a couple times. Like, of course, shout out to my homeboy Faden, one of the first of the three people besides Portugal and this other girl Stephanie, aka the Caffeine Jedi. They were one of the first three people that actually gave me the inspiration and the motivation to even do videos, you know? So if it wasn't for those three, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. So they're the ones that actually got me through a lot of my fears. I don't know if you want to get within the deepness of that metaphor, you know. So anyways, other than that, as you can see right here, unfortunately, lost one of the greats today, and I wasn't really always a huge like WWE fan or anything like that. Man, I was aware of it. I knew it existed. I wasn't very extremely immersed in it, even though you don't have to call. I'm not a real like WWE wrestler, not wrestler, like a fanboy off of it, a real actual fan. You know, I'm not real supportive on it, but you know, it is tragic when a life is lost, unfortunately. And at approximately, I think around 10, 11 o'clock a.m., I mean p.m. yesterday, which was April 8th. Even though it's April 9th now. This guy right here, I think his name was Jim Hellwig or Hellwig. He was actually, like, back in the 80s and 90s, it was really huge, like, rival between Hulk Hogan and freaking Randy Savage even, which is crazy as hell. And I think Triple H, too. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I know a lot of people were watching the pay-per-view shit about, like, him and The Undertaker and everything like that, and he ended up getting indicted to the WWE, like, Hall of Fame, or the WrestleMania Hall of Fame, however you want to call it. If there's any real true fanboys that are out there, fangirls, I really, really love the hell out of wrestling, because I'm more of the only three kinds of real sports I'm into is either, besides the fighting stuff, you know, it's probably baseball, and that's it. And most of you people don't know that about me. I really do like baseball a lot. It's cool. A lot of you people really don't have no idea how much of a huge fan I am about any team, really. Especially when it comes to the PlayStation thing, when you're playing with the Texas Wranglers or, like, Arizona Cardinals. What else? Of course, New York Yankees. Got a shout out to them. I'm from New York, obviously. I'm going to love the shit out of them. That, and I know Chicago Cubs are shit most of the time. No offense to anyone that are fanboys of them, but you know, that's just how I see it, in my opinion. You know, I had to jump on a bandwagon with that. But I will say this: unfortunately, this guy, he was a huge legend. I remember, like, way back in the day. I know I wasn't a huge like fan of him, but I knew my cousins, they were huge ass fanboys of this guy. Like, I would always wonder what is it that they see in this dude? He's just a guy, you know. It's like the way he used to do his little, like, acting thing, like how... Because I remember when I was little, I did watch him a few times. I wasn't really interested in that. The only two things that were really run through my mind back in my 90s kids days was either A, video games, like Sega, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1. That's pretty much the only thing besides, like, Pokemon collecting cards I really cared about. Because unfortunately, I'm not going to get too deep into the reason why I was the way I was, but I will say this. I was a real huge loner. I didn't really have very many friends at that time like I do now, you know? And I'm talking about real life friends, because obviously the internet, while it did exist, it wasn't existent, it just wasn't as powerful as it is today. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. But I will say this once again, no, I'm not laughing at the guy's death either before you even think about taking that into consideration. But unfortunately, this guy, let me show you another picture of him, if I can. That's him right there. Alright, this guy, I know you saw that one already. Let me see if I can get another shot. This guy from the 80s. I know he's a lot bigger in the 80s and I guess the 90s, but I remember when I was still little, even in my 90s kids days, he was still extremely relevant. Even though one of my friends, even on YouTube, like I said, my boy Fade Holy Soldier, you know, Joey, he was a huge ass fan when it came to WrestleMania and WWE and all that, you know, and the WCW era, all those other eras like Hell in a Cell, all those cage things, you know. I'm aware of it, you know. I just wasn't, like I said, I wasn't very immersed. I wasn't integrated with it, you know. It just wasn't my style. I was more into like boxing and MMA at that time, you know. 1, 2, like, bam, that type of shit. That's the fucking shit that I really fucking liked, you know, because it was real and everything, you know. You know, I know wrestling's real, but it's mostly like staged act. That's what it is. I'm not trying to step on all you WrestleMania fans. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. Because with boxing, when they're getting punched in the fucking face, they're getting punched in the fucking face. The only difference is they're doing it for like $250,000. Like that whole fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, you know, that dude, the Filipino dude versus the black dude, was crazy as shit. Again, I think they're gonna have another one. I think sometime around, not this month, but any of the months to come. I haven't been really following it lately, but I will be following it soon. And as far as the other two things go, I do want to say this. I'm glad he was indicted into the WWE like Hall of Fame WrestleMania like gallery, you know, and to commemorate his memory. Just 2 days right after our whole thing finished up too. I think it was like Saturday, Sunday, or maybe like after that. But it's a fucking tragedy, you know. He always reminded me of all those fighters. I did watch like a little bit of Battlestar Galactica when I was little. I remember vividly watching it a couple times, like maybe 6, 7 years old. Can't really remember that far back. I think 7 is when I started remembering stuff. Most people might be 4 or 5, but for me, I think it was 7. I'm not going to get too personal into it, but I was a little behind on certain things, certain aspects of life. But another reason what I was is I wasn't really up and up on it either. But the thing is, you know, when a tragedy happens like this, it's really sad. And then there's probably going to be a lot of conspiracy theories out there, I know. Obviously, I've covered a lot of them and shit, because, you know, me doing alternative media and stuff, which I haven't done in like 2 months, because like I said, I'm going to be doing it in June. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I'm just saying, in case any people are brand new to this channel or this video, I'm still going to be doing alternative media things, probably like, oh, the fucking Illuminati killed him and shit, which I don't think, maybe in the WrestleMania industry-wise, he wasn't that big enough. Maybe if he would have been like a movie like actor or singer, maybe there would have been a slight chance of possibility he would have been like assassinated by the Illuminati, but his name I don't think would be very big enough for him to get assassinated by a really fucked up, corrupt, demonic organization like the Illuminati. No. I don't think he would get destroyed by that. And me doing my like research over the years about what Illuminati is, and even shout out to fucking Mark Dice. I know he talks a shit ton about that. Literally. You know, sometimes I'll make fun of other people for that. He gets like, he gets fucking criticized for being, he's a reptilian or he's a shill, you know. Nobody at the end of the day is not going to fucking know that. Whether you're a real loyal subscriber like me, or if you're a fucking troll, no one at the end of the day is going to know that this guy got killed by the Illuminati. He most likely, 9 times out of 10, he had to have like an average death. There's no way in hell he got assassinated by that fucked up organization. I'm telling you that shit for the record right now. Just in my opinion, you know. But other than that, 9 times out of 10 he did die by a tragedy death or whatever, maybe a freak accident, I'm not sure. And shout out to once again this one black dude who's really chill as fuck, just like Jay Miller. His name's Tyrone Magnus, and he always calls his subscribers Magnusites. He was tripping balls over this fucking thing, seriously. And I feel really fucking bad for him too, because he was extremely huge of a WrestleMania fanboy and shit, you know, like, even before I knew who he was, because I've only been subbed to him for like a little bit, maybe 2-3 months, not that long, but from what I heard, I know he's a real huge fanboy as well. I think he got famous off those 2 light-skinned Moreno dudes, or I think they're called the Hodge twins or something, I know. I don't care too much for them at all, they're kind of boring as hell, it's just my opinion. But other than that, the last thing I want to say is I think he did leave 2 beautiful daughters behind. Hopefully they grow up to young, beautiful women, and hopefully, you know, they don't use their father's death as, like, you know, a way or as a ploy to, like, gain a lot of money. You know, hopefully they don't do that. They don't mess up his name or anything like that, because as we've seen in the past, we've seen that a lot with fucking Kim Kardashian and maybe Paris Hilton. I don't fucking know. I don't really give a shit about those people. Maybe in my middle school, high school years I sort of did. Maybe so-so, but most of the time I didn't. With that said, yeah, this guy is definitely going to be missed. I'm going to miss him a lot, you know, especially watching him growing up, my 90s kids, when my cousins, you know, I used to just pretend I was into him and shit. He was a cool guy and everything, you know, because, like I said, the only things I was really focused on was just video gaming stuff, you know. the old school Sega Genesis, the old school Super Nintendo, and the old school like PS1. You know, that was pretty much my whole life since I was a loner, unfortunately, back in those days. But yeah, you know, there's pretty much nothing else I can say. You know, he'll be missed. He's a legend that will live on in a lot of people's hearts. Maybe not in mine, but I know some of you people out there might care about it. Maybe even that dude. I know I talked to him a couple times. I haven't talked to him in a while. Okay, Brian Finney, of course, known as 3TR Topic Reviewer. He's a huge WrestleMania fan. I'm not sure he was probably a huge fanboy of this guy. And if Brian, if you're watching out there, I don't know if you, because I know you don't live out here in Vegas anymore. I know you live out in Cali now, so Dublin. But hopefully you're enjoying the weather out there too, man. It's real crazy. But I will say this is that I'm not sure if you are a fan of him or not, if you're aware of him, this guy. But if you are, you know, I know it must be really hard. It's like losing a really huge legend like this, personally for you, man. As far as I go, I wasn't affected by it too much, but you know, I did feel bad for the other two people that I'm sub to. Like, they're almost ready to fucking break down and cry, and they're grown ass men, literally. I'm not shitting you, not. I mean, I'm a grown ass man too, but like, once in a while, I want to break down and fucking cry. Like, once in a while. It's okay for a fucking man to cry. That's all I'm saying. I mean, for women, it's always acceptable. That's a whole other topic. I'm not even going to jump on that subject because that goes a lot with feminism and shit, and I'm not going to talk about that at all. But like I always do say, rest in peace, Mr. What's his name? Ultimate Warrior, a.k.a. Lou Hangwell? No. Lou Hellwig. I think that's what his name was. So, he'll be forever missed, and I know I keep repeating that, but hopefully he's up in heaven smiling down at all his fans and everyone that adored him. But like I always do say, is what it is, ain't what it ain't. See you when I see you guys every day. Have a good night wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. See you soon. See you around. Peace out, ladies. Goodbye. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Later, and rest in peace to this guy.